Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Boxer, the Technical Trader, and it's Monday night, March the 12th. Today, going over some longs and shorts for the charts of the day. Let's start with the long side. VELT, V-E-L-T, exploded today, and it was one of the percent gain leaders, up 27% today. Volume was a strong 4.75 million shares, the biggest volume we've seen in a long time. If you go back all the way back to, looks like February of last year, well, about a year now, well, 13 months ago. The stock formed a nice base, broke out and coiled, and set us up for today's action. Breakaway gap, which we traded today in this zone, gave us a nice day trade, and the stock was up 267 or 27% on 4.75 million. What does it look like? Well, there's resistance up here at the highs from July of last year. And if we go back a little further, there's also highs in that zone from April and May. So expect resistance, but that's a long way from here. Let's first get through the 1350-70 zone, which is my target for the next day or so. If it gets through that, that'd be great. The stock may accelerate. For now, though, I would look for some kind of move up into the zone, perhaps some consolidation, and then go, or breakout and then consolidation. INVN, a 1912 up $1.33, 3.7 million. So that's 7.5%. Fairly new issue, but look at the nice rising channel it's formed. And this falling wedge here was broken out 3 days ago. Ever since it's been up. Today it did back off early, but then came on with a bang from 1675 to 2008. Backed off a buck and closed at 1912 up $1.33. Where did it back off? Well, probably somewhere near the high, just slightly above it. And that's okay. At this point, what I'd say is I'm looking for a move to continue up towards the 23, 3.5 zone at the top of the channel. HOTT, our swing trades, are working great. After the pop and breakout, then a flag form, gave you an opportunity to enter then around 8 3/4. Here we are at 10.54, just short of my 10 3/4 11 target. JVA, 2 massive days up. If you take a look at the pattern that's developed, let me get rid of this first. You'll see that 2 consecutive big days. Now, yesterday was a monster day as the stock gapped up to 871, ran up to nearly 11, close to 10.5 or so. And then today it gapped to 11.12 and ran all the way up to 13.99. A big day. We traded that one as well today. And it was a really nice trade for most of our traders until the end of the day when it rolled over, took out support and stops. However, after such a big move, not a surprise. At this point, with overhead resistance across this key line here, not that far above, I could look for some additional upside perhaps, but be careful up in this zone as there is key resistance here. Should it get through here, we may very well see this get up towards 20. Not anticipating it goes straight up there, but certainly has momentum at this point. Big volume today, even bigger than yesterday, 5.66 million. Antigenics, slow price biotech is starting to accelerate. You can see the last 4 or 5 sessions. Now it did have this one big reversal day and then a no follow through day and an inside day yesterday following today's moves and highest close at 485 up 45 cents or 10%. Only 370,000 traded. That's pretty decent volume for that stock though. And there is resistance above, up around 5.25, and we may see tested as early as tomorrow. Secondary target 6.5 3/4. Swing trade USG moved out across this declining top line today and closed well up 56 cents, almost 4%, 3.33 million. The volume's come down a little bit the last 3-4 sessions on the way up, so we could very well get a pullback from this level here that was prior resistance right in here. Let's see if we can make it through here. If it does, anticipate a move up towards 17.5, 18. Our next target. CDTI, big move up today. As you can see, the stock has spiked. Let me get rid of these. Thought I did this. Okay, and then here's the big explosive move, huge gap, and a strong run. We traded this one today as well. It ran from 4 to 528 and backed off to 485, still $1.74, up 56% today. And the key being, if you step back, and it took out these 2 highs in this zone here after exploding through here. So we may very well see the stock extend further, and 6.5 or 7 would surprise me, even a shot at 8 on the CDTI. Hudson Technologies, a large wedge formed in the last 5 weeks. In the last few days, it's moving. Today, it accelerated a little bit, but not tremendously. The volume, though, is best in about 5 weeks, so 245,000 shares. Let's see if it can extend, targeting around 4.25 short term. Dunkin' Donuts. Well, a nice follow through today. Reached 31.92, just 2 cents off its post IPO high. Let's take a look at that. Right up here. 31.94 reached 4 days after the IPO. It then came down, eventually got down to about 23.5, but it's moved all the way back up to 31.92. It's a beautiful move in the last couple months, 3 months. We may see a pullback. If we do, this is support, resistance. If we get through here, could see the stock spike into the mid-30s. That's what I'm looking for, actually. OREX, nice pop. Take a look at this sharply rising channel and the beautiful flag. And today gapped out of the flag and ran up to close at resistance. If it does follow through, I'm looking for about 5.5, 3/4. SKH, also a big day today for skilled healthcare. Came out of this consolidation yesterday and followed through today. Looking for 8.25, my next target. YOKU, a monster day. 27 million shares traded. That's the biggest I've ever seen on YOKU. Has announced a merger and probably an accretive one. As should I say, they took over another firm. The stock then popped and ran all day. And it got as high as 32.75, close to 31.85, up 684, 27% on huge volume. That kind of a move, after it breaks out of a base, is usually destined for higher levels. Let's call this level up here around 40, 41 zone, my intermediate target, with a short-term target about 34.5. Moving on to box of shorts. Take a look at APEI. The head and shoulders, the breakdown, and now this little bear flag. Note this little pattern in here. Draw your lines across here. It's a tight little bear flag on low volume. Technicals are rather poor. If it fails and rolls over here, this could come down and come down hard. Targeting 34. LRN at a big reversal day today got up to 23.50, close 21.75, down 148 or 6%. As a big reversal off the declining tops line and lateral price resistance. Watch the level at around 20.75. Should that get taken out, I'd look for a move down towards 17. Deckers, after the big drop in the last couple of weeks, I told you guys to consider covering a short, but so far, 3 days of bear flagging is all the stock can do. Looks like it may head lower, but it would be wonderful if we got up to 73.5 first on low volume up in the zone to give us an entry point. UPL down another 64 cents, almost 3%, 3.4 million traded. It's just making lower lows every day. The stock could roll over. If it breaks out of this to the downside, look for a thrust down at 18.19. CHT, China Mobile, should I say Chunghwa Telecom. Something's wrong here. This stock broke down. Heavy volume, snapped back for a couple of days, failed the resistance, and is rolling over again. Sure looks like it can see 29. That's taken out. We can see full of a gap down towards 25. APAGF, massive top formation, stuck its head underneath there and can barely rally. If it doesn't rally soon, it starts to roll over. Look out below. The stock come down into the high 40s pretty quickly, maybe low 50s. WebMed forming flag, bear flag after bear, wedge after bear flag, just big wedge, little flag, micro wedge, but boy, it sure looks like it could come down towards 21, 22. And lastly today is Watson Pharmaceutical. Take a look at the pattern, you'll see it's been coiling or wedging inside of the down channel and has now tagged the top of that channel. Watch this for potential rollover and take out a 57.8 range. If it does, a rollover down towards the low 50s may take place, especially if the low around 55 is taken out. That'll be key. Anyway, those are the ideas about long and short for today. Have a nice week, everybody, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.